Hello. Hello, everyone. It's nice to meet you. My name is Rhys James. Everyone all right? I'm in a relationship, have been for 5 years, trying to keep it fresh. Long time in it, 5 years for a relationship, trying to do new things, excite each other, keep each other on our toes, like she keeps talking about how she wants to have sex outside of the relationship. I think we learn about sex too young, you know? I'm 11. I'm 28, it's called Nivea, relax. I think we're taught about it too young, man. Growing up, my mum always used to say, if you masturbate too much, you go blind. It's a weird thing to say to a child, isn't it? That's what she would say. If you masturbate too much, you go blind. And then, like, 1 week ago, she asked me to drive her to get laser eye surgery. Oh, that's not ideal for my life. It's not perfect. But we're trying to keep it fresh, trying to do new things, me and my girlfriend, you know, reading all these articles about what you can do to keep the spark alive in a relationship. Saw this article recently, right? The headline of the article, it said, couples who schedule sex have better sex. No. Couples who schedule sex are available to take a survey. That is all you found out. That's all your research has revealed, I'm afraid. We moved in together this year, me and my girlfriend, because we were too happy. And we felt it was time to present ourselves with a needless challenge. So we moved in together, and now that we live together, my life is basically just answering the question, are you cold? That's all it is, right? If you live with your girlfriend, that is all she wants to know every 10 minutes. Are you cold? I'm like, oh, not on the outside. Anyway. I'm joking, in truth. I love living with her. It's great to go back home to her after a nice, successful night of slagging her off. It feels good. How was the show? Don't worry about it. Never come and watch. Never come and watch. Well, we moved into this flat, right? And we're renting this flat. And I suppose I didn't need to clarify that bit. No one's watching this so far going, well, this is a homeowner. We're renting this flat, right? And there's all these surprises in our new flat, right? Like, it turns out that our double bed is actually just two single beds that had been pushed together, like a travel lodge. It's unacceptable. The thing is, I couldn't have known that on the house viewing, could I? Because obviously that bed had a sheet on it. I don't know if you've been on a house viewing lately. You're not going to lift that sheet up. Right, you are allowed to, but it is frowned upon, OK? You just have to assume you know what's under the sheet. It's very much like a morgue in that sense. I know what's under there, not my sort of thing. I'm going to leave it. In fact, the only way it could have been worse if I'd moved into my new flat, lifted up that sheet, and there had been a dead body under it. And the only way that could have been worse if it was two dead bodies that had been pushed together. I'd have been furious. Oh, tricked. How dare you. But that's the problem, isn't it, with house viewings in this country, right? There's no try before you buy with a house. It's basically the most important decision you can make, where you're going to live for at least a year. And all you get to do is just look at it for like 10 minutes. That's it. You don't get to spend the night in it like you should. You just get to look around it for like 10 minutes, and you get shown around it by a sort of tour guide. But it's a tour guide who has also never been there before in their life. And that is the estate agent, which is either a girl who used to work in Tiger, or it is a man who is one ill-timed wolf whistle away from a tribunal. Those are the options. Either or with estate agents. And you've got to spend that whole 10 minutes sniffing for damp, haven't you? That's the process. Sniff, 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 more than a puppy, non-stop sniffing in a house viewing. I spent so long sniffing in one flat, I finally put an offer in, and they said no, because they thought I had a coke habit. I said, that shows I've got disposable income, you should be pleased. This is where I'm at. I'm looking at flats to rent that almost definitely have damp. That's me. That's my generation. Not like my parents' generation, those pricks. My parents' generation, with their houses they own, with their multiple floors, their lack of damp, and their porches. Porches! These people have porches. My generation can't afford a house, let alone a little pre-house before you even get in the house. One little glass room for an umbrella and a single pizza leaflet. Are you kidding me? You people take the piss. It's the only reason I want to own a house, by the way, so I don't have to have a landlord. Some of the worst people in the world, landlords. I should have known. Clues in the name. Landlord. Think about the words I am saying to you. Lord. As in Voldemort. That is not a good guy, OK? My landlord, I'm not allowed to speak to him directly. That's true. That's because I've got what's known as a property manager. His name is Jonathan, but he spells it with an O-N at the end, so it's Jonathan. Freaks me out every time I see his name written down, top of an email, Jonathan. Makes me feel like I'm going to get sponsored to hang out exclusively with Johns for a year. Sorry, Mark, can't see you tonight. On a bit of a Jonathan at the moment, but catch me next time. Get on the Just Giving. It's a great course. OK, all right. That's my life. If I want to speak to my landlord, I've got to speak to Jonathan first. That's the process. I'm CC and the Thon. This is who I've become. If my landlord wants to speak to me, he's got to say what he wants to say to John, and then John says it to me, like he's sooty. OK, there's a generation divide in here, and I've found it, haven't I? Holy shit. Maybe it's just puppet fans, non-puppet fans. Very hard to tell. Basically, right, in January, our boiler broke, and we were desperately trying to get it fixed, obviously. And it was taking ages, right? No one was replying to us. Jonathan, he was completely ignoring us. He wasn't saying shit. The landlord, he wasn't replying to anyone, but obviously he was busy with Sweep and Sue. And we were desperately trying to get it fixed. And we got suspicious, basically, me and my girlfriend, that the landlord was ghosting us on purpose because he didn't want to pay for the boiler to get fixed. So what my girlfriend did is she looked up all the leasehold and freehold information on the entire block of flats that we live in. She wrote down every single person's name who owns a little piece of the building. Then she looked at everyone who received post in the building for 2 months, wrote down all of those names. She compared the list. Through process of elimination, she worked out our landlord's details. His name is Marcel. He lives in New Zealand. She then used that information to get his company information, which she used to get his email address, which she used to send him an email that was completely blank, except for a picture of her doing that, and a copy of the landlord responsibilities contract that he signed when we moved in, and that is why I am never breaking up with my girlfriend. I mean, Jesus fuck. So he fixed it. He fixed the boiler eventually because he's scared of my girlfriend, and rightly so. She'll slash him up. But still got the 2 single beds. He didn't fix the single. We still got the 2 single. It's ridiculous. 2 single beds, and they're single mattresses, and they're memory foam. But they've still got all the memories of the last tenants in them. I was 5'4", I started sleeping in a wheelbarrow. One little ditch for my whole body, pathetic. I was furious about it for ages, man. Right, now I realise, no, this is a positive, OK? We're a millennial couple. We live in London. We can't afford a spare room. But now, if me and my girlfriend have an argument, we can just push our beds apart and sleep like teenage brothers on a family holiday. Psst, do you want to play Truth or Dare? Truth. Are you cold? Apollo, thank you very much. I'm Rhys James. Goodbye. Thank you. Cheers.